Welcome to Epic Yarn Gems in my 200 subscriber giveaway. There were suggestions for me to make some projects for the holidays, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Santa hat. The yarn I chose to use was by Loops and Threads. They're impeccable yarn in the color cherry. I typically don't do any yarn reviews, but for whatever reason this particular yarn was a little rough on the finger, so I wanted to let you know that. It wasn't overly soft, so I would not have used this for a hat that I would be wearing all the time, but since it was for a Santa hat that you probably wouldn't be wearing all day, I did think it was okay to use for this project. The hook I used was the 5mm H hook, and to start us off we are going to be doing a magic circle, and with that we will do a chain 2 to start. That does not count as a stitch, and then we will be putting 5 double crochets into the center of that circle. Once we have completed those 5, we will do a slip stitch join to the top of the first double crochet. You're going to want to give the tail a firm pull, and that will close that hole at the top, and you will be able to have a nice round circle to start with as you start working your rounds around the top of the circle. So we're going to start on the body of the hat, and you will start that with a chain 2, and then you will go right back into that same stitch that you did the chain 2. Since that chain 2 does not count as a stitch, you will be doing 2 double crochets into that same stitch, and you'll be repeating that all the way around. So you will be putting 2 double crochets in each stitch, and when you get done you should have a total of 10 double crochets, and to finish off the round you will be doing the slip stitch join to the top of the first double crochet. For your next row, you will be doing a chain 2 again. Again, that does not count as a stitch, and then you will be putting 1 double crochet into each of the stitches from the previous round. That will give you a total of 10 stitches again, and you will join that with a slip stitch join. The next round you'll be starting again with a chain 2, but you'll be doing 1 double crochet in that first stitch, and then you'll be doing 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and you'll repeat that all the way around. Again, that's 1 double crochet in one stitch followed by 2 double crochets in the next stitch. When you finish this round you will do the slip stitch join again to the top of the first double crochet. This should give you a total of 15 stitches in this round. You will continue to do increases until row 26, and you should have a total of 70 stitches when you complete that row. I'll put the instructions for all the increases down below in the description. Now we're going to start the pattern that's within the hat. So you'll do a chain 1 and you'll do a single crochet into that first stitch, and then you will do a chain 3. After you finish the chain 3, you will skip the next stitch and go into the one directly after that and do a single crochet. This is going to be the repeat pattern for the rest of this row. Again, it is single crochet, chain 3, skip the next stitch, single crochet. So you will be going all the way around this row doing that same pattern, and at the end you will join with a slip stitch join. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video that this yarn was a little coarse, you can see that I have a whole bunch of band-aids on my fingers just because they were getting a little roughed up with this hat, so I had to protect them a little bit. So at the end of that row, like I said, you are going to do a slip stitch join, and then after that we are going to go into the next row of our pattern. And in the next row of the pattern, you're going to start with a chain 2 this time. And after the chain 2, you are going to do 2 double crochets in that opening that was created by the chain. So there's that opening, and we are going to put 2 double crochets into that open space. And we are going to keep doing that all the way around. So we're going to go to the next open space and do 2 double crochets in there. Once you have finished that, you will again have a slip stitch join, and you should have a total of 70 stitches once you have completed this row. And then to finish off this pattern, you are going to do a chain 2 again, and then you're just going to do a row of double crochets. That will be a total of 70 double crochets. So those last 3 rows that I showed you, the 27, 28, and 29, you are going to repeat those rows 3 more times. And after you do that, you will be at the end of the hat, and we will be switching our yarn to do the little faux fur that's on the bottom. The yarn I chose to do this is from Yarn Bee. It's their Snuggle Up yarn in white. It is a 5 bulky. It doesn't look bulky to me, but it is. It's very, very soft. So the first thing we will do is we will attach this new yarn to the bottom of our hat just by pulling through one of the stitches and doing a quick slip stitch through that first stitch. And then what you're going to do is you are going to go into each of the stitches from the previous row, that's 70 of them, and you are going to put in 1 double crochet. When you're working on the first row, which goes into the red, it is still difficult to see, but you can see where you are placing your hook. After you finish this row with a slip stitch join, you are going to put in another row. That row is going to go into this furry type yarn. It is very difficult to see where you are placing your hook. So as I did it, I just tried to feel where the stitch was, but it is very forgiving. So if you do miss the stitch a little bit, you're not going to notice it, and your brim is still going to turn out really cute. As you finish the end of this row, you're just going to cut off this yarn and you're going to weave in your ends. Just do the best you can to see where you're putting your weaves. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how to make the pom-pom. I did use a pom-pom maker, which I am not very good at using. Use whatever method works for you, but the one thing that I did want to show you is that I added a piece of white yarn to this and tied it so that they were together. So when I wrapped this around the maker, it did add a little more structure to it, but do whatever works best for you when you make a pom-pom. With this type of yarn, just so you know, it does make a big mess when you are cutting and shaping the pom-pom, but like I said, whatever method works best for you, please do that. And the last thing I want to show you is how to attach the pom-pom to the top of your hat. And to do that, I just take the 2 strands or 3 strands or however many you have, and I use a yarn needle, and I'm going to put that right through the center of the top of the hat. One of the things that I like to do is I like to use a button to tie that into the hat so that it remains in the center and it has a bit of security so it won't come flying off. The other reason I do that is if you are going to wash the hat, most likely you won't want to wash the pom-pom because it might get a little stringy. So I do put that button on there so that the pom-pom itself is removable. The finished hat measured 19 inches long and 24 inches around, so if you want to make a larger or smaller hat, you will just need to adjust the number of increases that you do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really did enjoy this project. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. So if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button and leave me some comments. I always love to have comments. And if you are interested in more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you will know when I post new projects. Thanks for coming and have a great day.